is on. Okay. Okay. I think we'll have to live with it, Rick. You're sort of black. Can you see us?
Yeah, I can see you guys fine.
Okay, that's great. As long as you can see something. But you just stay as you are. That's fine. Okay, going to share the screen now. Need to find the share button on here. Here it is. And you can reshape the webcams just by clicking on the 3x3 matrix, and you can drag them around to make them. I'm doing that right now on mine, so I can see you all at the same time as I talk. So, okay. Yeah. Right. So, welcome to Becoming More Clear, Confident, and Empowered to Deliver Your Gift of Service to the World. This is a free healing webinar. I'm Nicolas Ngan of the Center for Conscious Ascension, and we're going to talk about divine healing today. We'll give you an experience of it, so you can help the world as best you can. That's why we're all born. That's why we came as light workers. So do you feel, this is for the guys especially who are watching that on video, especially coming cold to the YouTube channel. So do you feel you're here to do something very special for the world, but doubt yourself because you're not quite sure what it is or how to go about doing it? So this free live group healing webinar is to gracefully accelerate the healing of low self-esteem, doubt, and feelings of not being good enough, so you can feel more clear, confident, and empowered to deliver your gift of service to the world. That's what this is all about. So what I want to hear from you guys is what brought you here. We're going to sort of set intention, and that'll sort of guide me in the way the webinar runs. So it's designed around what you need. So maybe if we start with, well, I'll start with me. So where I am, so I'm just outside London, in England. It's the beginning of autumn. It's getting pretty cold. I've been here 30 years from New Zealand, and I've been on this path for, how long have I been on this path now? 34 years I've been on the spiritual path, looking for my special gift of service, but hopefully I've found it. I'm here to share that with you. That's why I'm here. I'm here to raise consciousness on Earth to create a better world, which we could certainly do with at the moment, given what's going on. So I'd like to hear from you guys, where you are and what brought you here. What's your sort of intention? And we'll sort of put those intentions into the energetic pot, and that'll determine the flow of the group energy, which way we go. So if you want to speak, just wave at me. If you've got your video on, or put it in the chat if you haven't got your video on, and then or Rick, you can just shout out seeing your video is not working. So you don't have to say anything if you don't want, but it does help. I want to hear from each of you. Or Rick, you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I'm curious about where I'm at in trying to accomplish my goals for my soul this lifetime.
Right. Okay. We'll see where that takes us. Okay. Who's next? Okay. Karen?
I'm from Canton, Michigan, and I happened to come across this training on Facebook, and I saw it, and I've been on the spiritual path for about 4 years or so, and you know, I do still doubt myself a lot, and I don't know much about it, so I thought I would, you know, and my intention would be hopefully to really find out what I'm here for, because I have no clue.
Okay. Yeah. We may not get to the precise nature of it today. It's more about clearing programs in the ego that block us getting to it. That's what we're going to do today.
Nicolas, my reason for being here right now might be a little bit more deep than some of the others, and not on purpose. I swear it. You know me, I've been on the spiritual path with my dad being a rabbi. It just passed away for my whole life. And after that, he passed just before COVID. So I lost my father, then walked into COVID. In the last few days, I've practically felt like I've been told I've been under attack by some evil thing not letting me get anywhere. And I've been extremely sleep deprived in the last few months, super terribly. And I've had people saying, even though, everything good is supposed to be in my life right now at this moment, something is not allowing it to happen. And Friday night I collapsed and I was in bed for 3 days. And then after I got up, I finally had enough strength. I had no sleep. Monday morning, I went to court because I had a traffic day. So I went to court, I won. And then it was freezing cold here. It's like almost winter in Montreal. And I came home and I was very upset because I didn't know if I'd be able to live in this building or not. And I just signed a new lease. And I started thinking about that. And I couldn't wait for this consciousness thing because you are brilliant at everything you do. I loved every single course I've ever taken with you, and I'm waiting to take the other ones as well. But I need help, and I know that you can do this. If there's something there, you'll see it, feel it, whatever it is. I want it gone. I want to know that I can finally heal. Sunday night, I was so upset. I was up the whole night because every time something was on that was hurting my head so bad, I not only had headaches, I almost threw up. My whole body was shaking. I had heart palpitations. Scared to death, I still managed to get to court and do it because that's part of who I am. I asked God for a sign and he gave me one. It was the weirdest sign in the world. I've translated some Hebrew things to English for you, so maybe you'll remember who I am that way.
I remember who you are, my
in
goal.
meditation. Yeah. Okay. And I sat there and said, I need a sign to know that I'm still okay, or I should just give up because I can't take any more of this. I'm so sleep deprived, it's scary. So I got a sign. I started seeing Hebrew words on my ceiling while I was keeping my eyes open because I couldn't close them. It was like having a movie running at 78, like your record used to be, and it was just like giving me a headache. And I looked at the sentence, I saw Hebrew words one at a time. And I said, and then the words started forming bricks. And I'm looking at these bricks going, what is this? And then I thought I was making it up. And I looked again and they were still there. And these bricks started forming something. And then I took a good look and said, oh my God, I just saw a picture of the Western Wall in Israel. And that was my sign that I was doing something right. God had sent me what I asked for. I asked for a sign to say, I'm okay and I'm going to be fine. And there it was. Cool. All night on my ceiling, the Western Wall. Cool. but I want whatever this is, please. I'm hoping that this will help me get rid of whatever this energy thing is. So it just can't come back because I've been dealing with this for over 2 years since my dad died, and I want to continue moving forward. But when you're moving forward with an elephant on your back, it's just not going to let you go very far. So that's where I am.
Okay, my goal.
Thank you.
I think I might email you later with some ideas. Okay.
Thank you very, very much.
I think I've got an idea what's going on here. Got some sort of serious interference. So, okay, who's next? Okay, Ingrid.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Ingrid. I'm Dutch, but I live in France. And I went through a huge transformation. This started 6 years ago when I had breast cancer. And I went the natural way. And I had so many miracles on my path. I wrote a book about it. And now I am a health coach. So I help others back to health and happiness. And I work with a divine healer who I think is almost as brilliant as Nicolas, or maybe just as brilliant. I still have to find out. And it's amazing. He also healed me at the end of my journey from quite advanced breast cancer, arthritis, Lyme's disease, and so it really works and it's incredible. And I continue to grow, and my mission is to help others heal, especially today in today's scary world. But I have quite a lot of cancer patients in my program and people with other issues. And I just love coaching. And so that's my story.
Okay, thanks, Ingrid. All right, who's next? Okay, Sakina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sakina. I think why I came today is I do feel there's a lot of blocks. I know I'm a healer. I've done divine healing, and I'm still very confused as to how to move forward in my life. I've been unemployed for quite a while now, and I'm just really confused. And I feel that there's just blocks that need to be cleared because there's no clarity. What training to do, and my days are kind of merging one into another, and I'm just not moving forward. So I'd be grateful for any help.
Okay. All right. Well, focus on those of you who've got big challenges, focus on the positive state you want to be in. So focus on clarity, Sakina. Okay. That'll be the key thing in your case. And my goal, I'd focus on being very clear and rested. Something like that. Okay. All right. All right. Who's next? Wait, where are you, Sakina? You sound like you're in the UK.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm from London in the UK.
All right, just down the road. Okay, who's next? Yeah, Gail.
I kind of agree with some of the other things that are being said. It's just needing that clarity of moving forward, like what the optimal path is, how to move forward as far as work and personal stuff goes. So just looking and seeking more clarity.
Okay. All right, we'll see how we go with that. All right. Hans.
Hello, I'm Hans Ulrich from Hamburg in Germany, and I just did the level 1 training for soul contract reading, and that made me very happy. And I'm in the beginning of doing sessions for people, and this is really great. And I think it's very much light coming into my life, and I think that brings some shadows more in the foreground. And I feel in the last days kind of more distracted than before. There is something in me that first, before I really do what I want to do from my heart, I have to do all the normal housework and all this. And this puts me somehow under stress. In Germany, we have this proverb, first the work, then the joy, or something like that. And it doesn't feel right. I feel in a kind of stress, and maybe, this is why I'm here mostly, and to just go deeper with everything.
Okay. Yeah, as we come on the path to deliver our gift of service, as we converge towards it, a lot of resistance will come up in terms of shadow and darkness, because it's there as part of our training to overcome, to make us stronger, to learn specific lessons. That's why it comes up. So
I'm not unhappy with this, but I just wanted to bring it here.
Yeah,
I feel quite good in the moment.
it is most welcome. All your issues are welcome. Okay, who's next?
Thank you.
Anyone else want to introduce themselves? Sana?
Hi everybody, my name is Sana. I'm originally from the Shetland Islands and I live in Ireland, Southwest Ireland. I've been working with Nicolas quite intensely this past year. It's been fantastic. I've been on a spiritual path for over 20 years now. I have an enlightened master as a guru, and I felt really directed to work with Nicolas this year, and it's really accelerated the way that I've been able to reach my clients. And I guess I'm here because I just take every opportunity that I can to get assistance, and I want to be able to attract more clients basically and be able to do my thing. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, William and then Naomi.
Hi Nicolas, this is William from US, and I think I've been through it's like spiritual ADD, trying to get a lot of certifications and spiritual work, and just trying to learn as much as possible. But I've noticed that it's also a pattern I've had in the past where I would start something and then not fully commit to it, and then it would just change, and it would, you know, keep vacillating between different things, usually from influence of my parents, but also my own personal commitments. So something I hoping to get confidence and work towards and follow through.
Okay, thank you, William. Wait, where are you, William?
US?
Where are
Texas?
you in the US? Texas, okay. All right, thank you. Naomi. Still to unmute. Now try that.
There we are. Hi, everybody. I'm here because of you, Nicolas David Ngan. I read your book on soul purpose reading, and I thought it was fantastic. I shared it with a lot of people, and it answered so many questions for me, because I realized that my birth name was a 9-9. And so it explained everything that I had, every challenge I'd ever had, which at this point I thought was rather inordinate compared to what I'd experienced with other people around me. And I'm so thankful for those challenges now, because they were the contribution that gave me this feeling of inner strength I have, and I don't tolerate evil, and I want to do something about it. So I'm here because I'm looking for your continued inspiration on how to step out in the world boldly and confidently. I have a business called Soul Medicine Woman, and just starting to make podcasts. So I thank you for this step toward empowerment and what you're doing here to contribute to all of us learning how to be the best version of ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Well, the key to helping the world in its current state of chaos is to raise your own consciousness and the consciousness of as many people around you as possible. When we hit a threshold of, collectively, we hit a critical, we cross the threshold of consciousness, and all the stuff that's going on starts to dissipate. Okay, that's the key. It's all about truth and love in the world. That's how you change the world. Get the truth out there, raise consciousness. That's the main thing we need to do, and do it as a unified whole. Everyone unified together, working together. That's how we change the world. That's why I focus on training as many practitioners as possible, because then you guys can go out there and do it, our practitioners, and make a difference. That's how we do it.
Nice.
Got a few things in the chat to read out here. Okay, so Sarah has said, wasn't sure what to expect from this. My physical and mental health is a roller coaster, and the lows are very low. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Okay, all right. Vicky has said, hi Nicolas, I know that I'm being drawn to offer help and healing to people to feel clearer within myself more than ever before. And the more I've healed in myself, the more I can see that it's part of my purpose to help others heal those same things in themselves, in particular trauma and lack of boundaries, I feel. However, I'm still resistant to doing divine healing on myself and have some ongoing health challenges which are really stopping me in my tracks in every area of my life. I'd like to work on this today. Okay. Suggest you do SWATs with your classmates, Vicky, if Lily goes resisting working on yourself with divine healing. And also people on the main divine healing community Facebook group. Find new people to work on as well. Okay. So there's been a comment here about 5G, Margola. Do you have Wi-Fi on in your house? You have to switch on your sound. You have to switch on your sound, Margola. On the left, on the bottom left, on the screen. Yeah, I can't hear you still.
Sorry. Okay.
Do you have the Wi-Fi on in your house?
Yes, but since I moved in, this is weird too, is that it keeps it's on and then it leaves. And even on my phone, it's on and then it just leaves. And
Yeah.
I don't have any Wi-Fi at all. So
Yeah, I would suggest you for your computer, just have a hardwired Ethernet cable from the computer to the internet router and switch off all the Wi-Fi. That'll just see if that's causing a problem for you. Okay.
the 5G is causing a problem?
Yeah, because the 5G and Wi-Fi is designed to disrupt your brain, disrupt the blood-brain barrier.
Okay.
That's what it's designed specifically to do. Yeah. So you just switch the stuff, as much stuff, that stuff off as possible, and then see how you feel. Okay, because you're just
the only thing I had 5G was my phone because I thought it was
well, that's not helping
clear.
you either. Yeah,
Okay.
that's not helping you either. Okay.
So anything 5G I've got to get rid of?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go back to 4G if you have to have a phone. So 5G is very hazardous. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Because 5G deprives you of oxygen. It's designed to do that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, we'll see what else.
Deaf neighbors don't help.
Yeah. Okay. All right. William, 5G, well, Wi-Fi is designed to disrupt the blood-brain barrier. It's designed to disrupt human systems. All of electromagnetics are designed specifically to disrupt us. That's why they sit them at specific frequencies. So Wi-Fi and 5G are not good for you at all. Okay, let's get going then. All right, so I'm going to share the screen again. So, what is divine healing? Well, Almira Ariel Haller, who developed divine healing, she used to run the Center for Conscious Ascension with me. She's gone. She and I, we used to be married, but up to 13 years ago. We were looking for a really powerful tool to clear our emotional separation patterns. We had some pretty serious disempowerment stuff running. And she was searching all over the world for different tools to learn and then to teach. Then in the end, she developed her own thing with two other colleagues, Mary and Rashan at the time. And so basically what happened is that in 2005, I think it was, they were downloading, three of them, different parts of the divine healing for the first level of it from source. And it's basically a tool so that you can, it's a simple, quick and profound set of healing tools from many different bodies of high dimensional groups to help us ascend in consciousness, to reconnect to spiritual levels and to dismantle our ego so we can go home in consciousness to God. It's very, very much about empowerment here. Potentially you could get enlightened, but it's unlikely that you could get very few people get really enlightened, but it's more about raising your consciousness, as I was saying earlier, as high as possible. That's what divine healing is designed to do. So it's designed to basically align you to your higher self, because the higher self created you the way you are, so therefore it knows how to dismantle what it created. All right. And so we align with that, with the higher self in the divine healing process. We're going to do something very shortly. And so basically you can start to clear the programming in your ego, in your soul contract, for those of you familiar with soul contract reading work. So as you start to clear those programs, your life can start to happen. And you can bring consciousness and transform the fundamental underlying programming that creates your life in each moment. Then those dreams you have, or even getting clarity that some of you asking for clarity, well, what are my dreams? They start to come to you more clearly as you clear the ego. And as you get clear on what the gift of service is, what your dream is, you want to manifest, you start to develop and fully live your vision and heal stuff which seems intractable. And so really connect to your soul essence and tap into and share your gifts of service and live a happier life. I mean, I think back in 2006, I was very much in my disempowerment and unworthiness. Life wasn't life was pretty miserable, I would say, compared to now. And I've been working on myself regularly since then, for 15 years. And it's really made a vast difference, especially in the early years, because it was so powerful. So basically, as you clear your ego programs, more self-esteem, more self-worth comes, and you become in charge of your life. This is the empowerment we're talking about. You become in charge. Life no longer, quote, does stuff to you, because you've cleared enough of the programs inside you, which are creating, or the matrix around you is rearranging around those programs and creating repeating situations a lot of the time. So as you start to clear those programs, you notice what happens in your outer reality changes. And things get better gradually. And that allows you to deliver your gift of service to the world, whatever each of you has that gift. And that's hidden in your soul contract. Okay, I'll put a link up to generate, this is not a soul contract webinar, but I'll put a link up so you can generate your soul contracts, and a link to the book, my book, Your Soul Contract Decoded, so then you can find out, well, why are you here? It'll tell you all that stuff. It'll give you a pretty good idea why you're here. It won't be super specific, it'll be more general, but it'll point you in the right direction. For example, it would say you're here to communicate or teach, but it won't tell you the exact content of what you're here to teach. Or you're to be a healer of some sort, but it won't tell you what modality. You have the free will choice of how you play that out. So that's how you find purpose. And divine healing is designed to help you manifest that purpose by peeling your ego onion. So here we have the flame of consciousness, which is your soul. And you have many layers of the ego onion around it. And this is the soul contract. So the soul encases itself in the physical body and all these programs. And this is what creates a lot of the challenges. This creates all the challenges we have. And with divine healing, what we do is that we peel this ego onion, I'll get a bit of color. We peel this onion layer by layer in the right order. And the higher self basically helps you do that, till you get back to the pure consciousness that you actually are, which is the soul. And the idea is to peel that as much as possible, so that you can, so in doing that, that allows you to actually transmit from the higher self, the higher part of you, through a clean ego, as clean as it can get, to manifest your gift of service. All right. Okay. Okay. Right. So, a bit more. Kara's just checked in. Kara said, "Hi, I've been drawn to the spiritual side of life since I was a young child, but on this healing journey for about 3 years. I received an email from Nicolas, plus webinar. I'm very into learning all I can in all aspects to improve any way I can. I'm an energy healer, Reiki master, and use other healing modalities to help people mentally, physically, emotionally. I've been doing this a year now, so my intention is just to learn all I can during the webinar." Okay, so Naomi, I'll post all the links and things I talk about on the description for the YouTube channel at the end. Once I load the video, it'll be in a few days. So all the resources will be in the YouTube video description. Okay, so we're going to sort of go gardening, really, soul gardening. We're going to jump into the mud, our karma, all our separation programs, and bring consciousness to it. Then transform it into beautiful things in life, our gifts of service as lotuses or loti. And in this Buddhist model, we look at everything as one. It's all part of God in the spiritual sense. It's not the Judeo-Christian good and evil. It's like mud bad, lotus is good. It's just like it's all one and the same thing. It's a transition from one state of being to another. So we land in our big pool of mud on Earth. And we come here. And our job is to bring consciousness to all the different layers of our mud and transform it into this beautiful lotus so that we deliver our mission of our gift of service, the mission our soul came to share with humanity. That's why you guys were all born. It's the only reason, actually, you were born, to deliver this gift of consciousness. And now is a pretty good time, given what's happening in the world. So, how did we get here? So here's us in our little earth suits. And when we first pop out of our mothers, we feel this is all there is. And how did I get here? I fell off a cosmic truck on the wrong planet. There's been a big mistake here. That's how I felt. And how many of you felt like that? Put your hand up. You fell off the back of a cosmic truck. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a mistake. You volunteered to come. So that's what happens when you put your hand up in heaven. You end up in a place like this. But we volunteer to come out of love. And we're actually quite multidimensional. So we're in the third dimension here in this densified reality. And this is Source, God, in the spiritual sense, Great Spirit, all it is. This is on the 12th dimension. We use a 12-dimensional system here. And what Source did is it wanted to expand its consciousness. And it wanted to feel all aspects of itself. So basically it created creation with an out-breath in all directions. Because this is the source of this universe, the one great spirit that we all part of. And so basically it gradually stepped down itself through the dimensions, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, all the way down to the third dimension. So it got to the point that it was densified, so a little spark of the source of divinity is in us, each of us, called our soul. And it got to the point where we felt completely separate, disconnected from source. So I wanted to see, well, how separate can I get from myself? And in the process of life, we seek the gift of service, the true meaning of our life. And basically what that is that what is our pathway back home to source? That special thing we're looking for, and something which the outside matrix never tells you. Work doesn't tell you, parents don't tell you, nothing formal will ever tell you what that is, because it's not designed to. It's designed to keep you locked away from source in all its dysfunctionality. So how many of you feel this reality should work properly for you? How many of you felt that when you were younger? Put your hand up. I used to think that. Then I realized it's not meant to work. That's the news. It's not meant to work properly. It's a very dissonant reality to keep us as separate from source as possible. Our job is to open a pathway in consciousness back to source through the different dimensions. Like this is the astral plane. You see in the Hollywood movies where people go through the tunnel of light as they leave their body, the soul leaves the body, back up to the astral plane. So we're going to cut a hole through here and open a pathway back to source. That's what we're going to do today. Okay. So what happens when we are born into these bodies? Well, 3 core separation programs are triggered. The first thing is we feel abandoned by God because we just popped out of a nice dark warm womb and we're left on this third rock from the sun. We don't feel worthy to be loved by God because God spat us out of heaven. And we're very connected to God when we're in the womb most of the time. Spat us out of heaven and we landed here on this rock. And we don't trust God because God kicked us out of heaven as well. So those 3 core programs basically form your ego in a unique combination for each of us. And that's what's described in your soul contract. Okay. In a very specific way. So, right. So what do we do? What actually happens? Well, we have all these low frequency programs in us created by our ego. And most people avoid them. They numb out. Lots of addictive behavior. They just don't want to feel their issues. That's the majority of humanity does. So life gets challenging. People get stuck. Not much happens. You come back and do it again and again. Those on the path Well, as we start to awaken spiritually, we realize, oh my God, there's a big ego. There's a lot of programs, it's clear. So the ego judges itself for those programs. We all do it. And it feels bad about it. I've got this unworthiness. I've got this disempowerment. I've got this lack of trust. I'm not very grounded, and I'm useless at relationships, and all the stuff that we all come up with. The ego comes up with. And so that locks all those programs in place. And so that's the other path. And the third path, which is what we do with divine healing, is that we basically own and resonate with the programs. We bring feeling consciousness to them. And we accept them for what they are. We start to love them, the opposite of what the ego is doing, which is judging them. And we find out, where do they come from? Because the more we can target these programs with our consciousness, the deeper the clearing of these programs. So it's about just unconditionally accepting who we are, what's in us, with our ego. More easily said than done. That's the key to getting free of the pain, the suffering of life. Just accepting it for what it is. Because it's all there for us to do the following. So to heal, we need to have a willingness, desire, and courage to actually go and feel those programs. Some of you have bravely named your programs publicly just now. And so this is our program here, the big red dot. We bring feeling consciousness, which is a sort of light blue color. Because when we can feel it, we can heal it. Because all the soul wants us to do is, for example, feel low self-esteem, the low self-esteem, doubt, and feelings not being good enough. It just wants to have the feeling experience of feeling all of it as much as possible. And then it wants to transform it. And if you keep doing this regularly, then you start to get a lot clearer. And life starts to get easier. The ego is not so keen on this. It's not so keen on you even being here, probably. So what it does is it puts a layer of emotional ice that numbs us out from feeling the programs, because you can't feel it, you can't heal it. So we need to find a way to break through this defense mechanism here in the ego gently. So what we do. So what we do is that basically, by holding sacred space, which I've already set up today before we started, set the group energy. It's about gently breaking through this barrier by bringing consciousness to the barrier, things that the ego often blanks us out. And we ask spirit to remove the energy, and grace descends, and it gets easier. So we start to bring our consciousness into the space. Okay. So then we can start to clear our low self-esteem, doubt, and feelings of not being good enough. Because what we do is we breathe into this, we expand our feeling consciousness into that space. Then it starts to clear. Okay. That's the key. This is the essence of divine healing. This is what we're going to do. Because the clearer the more you peel your ego onion, the clearer you are, the more the higher consciousness part of you will flow, and that will manifest. That will manifest your gift of service. So the way it works is like this. I'll just find this diagram here. So this third dimensional reality is only a third dimensional projection screen of whatever's coming through you from your higher self. Whatever's coming from the higher self up here, as it's coming through here, the clearer you are emotionally, the more dissolved the ego is, the more of who you truly are comes through. And that starts to manifest your mission, your gift of service. And some of you are not sure what that is, just get clear enough, then the gift of service will become clearer to you. Because it will take you from wherever you are. The idea is to get completely clear of the ego, so there's maximum opening to higher consciousness, and that will manifest the gift of service, and life will gradually change to something a lot better. Okay, that's the key. That's why we have divine healing. So you're ascending in frequency and consciousness, you're connecting to higher parts of you. And eventually we connect back to source and consciousness. And eventually this third dimension will be rolled up. So we'll become much lighter. There'll be more separation between our molecules, our subatomics. We gradually get lighter and lighter, and we become more beings of light as we move up the scale. Eventually the idea is to get back to source, because source had a big out breath. Now it's having a big in-breath, and the in-breath started in 1987 with the harmonic convergence. Okay, so, and what's going on in the world at the moment is basically all the separation programming that pulled us, all these points of darkness that pulled us as far away from source as possible, are all being brought to the light, are all being shown. The truth is coming out in the world of what's really been going on. And as more light or truth comes to it, all the darkness starts to dissolve, and we start to move, we accelerate in our process going back to source. That's what's actually going on at the moment. At a spiritual level. So, nice diagram before we have an experience of this. So here's us initially. It's our little ego. Very much we're in our minds usually, especially in the West. And the little ego is going along this dotted pathway on the path of suffering, because it's following what it's programmed with. It's not following the flow of spirit, it's following its own path according to what's in your soul contract. And so what divine healing does is as it cleans up the ego, our consciousness expands, and we start to move from here over to what we call the spiritual signature. And the spiritual signature is where in each moment there's one right action, which is not the stuff here at all. There's one right action of following the solid line. And if you follow, it's the one right action that opens your heart the most. Okay, and the idea here is to converge on it. We converge, we diverge, and as you get clearer emotionally, you converge on it more and more of the time. So as you converge on this, then you're going to be feeling pretty good about yourself, because you're going to be very aligned with the flow of your spirit. It's the part of you not in the body. Your higher self wants to take you. And that's when your gifts start to flow. You're very clear why you're here, and life becomes a lot more fulfilling compared to down here. So this is the overall effect of what divine healing does. It helps us follow this. Okay. All right, so any questions on that? I'll just give you a bit of structure, but then mainly we're going to spend time experiencing it, just so you know what we're up to. You can put the questions in the chat, okay? Or we can, you can just ask me, wave at me if you've got any questions. No questions? Okay, we'll just get into it then. So, Williams asked, can ego randomly fall on spiritual path? Do you want to just switch on, William, and just expand on that a little bit, so I got a feel for what you mean? You have to switch on the sound. Can't we? Now try again, start again.
Okay. You were saying how the ego follows a self path, like a spirit, its own programming.
Yeah.
Can that randomly or haphazardly fall on the spiritual path? Usually
not, no.
So it usually goes away from spiritual path on purpose?
Deliberately, yeah. It's moving away from, it's moving away, it's diverging. It needs to come more over here, you see. Because you see,
why would it choose to leave the spiritual path?
Because it believes it's in charge, and its ultimate fear is its own death that aligns with spirit and connects back to God. So therefore it tries to avoid the spiritual path as much as possible. Okay, because it wants to stay in charge of us, of our lives. Yeah, does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Naomi, no? You can ask something? Okay, well, doesn't look like it. Okay, we will continue. So let's have a direct experience of divine healing. All right, so what I want you guys to do, if I just go back to the first page, actually, what we started with. All right, so what I want you to do is to focus. If you're not sure what it is you're here to do, focus on manifesting clarity on what you're here to do. That's the first step. Okay. Some of you said you're not sure, you're confused. So just focus on being clear. You don't have to know what it is yet, but when you focus on where you want to go with your intention, ego will say, oh, Sakana, you can't do that. But what it will do is it will trigger the programs will trigger that are in the way, and they'll come up in consciousness. And if they come up in consciousness, you can feel them and clear them, which is what we're about to do. Okay. And if you do know what it is, but you're not sure how to go about doing it, a special gift, then seek clarity on the manifestation of that gift which you're aware of, okay? And how to go about doing it. And it'll come. Gradually come. Because what happens is that what you focus on will grow. And most of the time our ego focuses on all the stuff which is not working. And does it in a sneaky way so that we don't actually realize we're doing it. I used to do it, still do it at times. All right. So focus on what you want to create, and then it will gradually turn up. So we're going to start doing a bit of divine healing. And first, what we're going to do is that we are going to clear some of the energy interference here that's blocking you from connecting to source or your higher self. So we're going to punch a hole in this here. So we're going to clear out lots of interference. These are astral beings. I'll explain as I go. We're going to clear out a whole bunch of beings who are preventing you connecting to this higher consciousness, because when you connect to higher consciousness, you're going to get answers to a lot of the questions you guys are actually asking. Let's do that. So what I want you to do is everyone close your eyes and take your shoes off and have your feet flat on the ground so you're grounded. So Ingrid, the ego is here to make life challenging, so you have to engage with it. And in the process of engagement, then we learn, we get our learning and training for this mission. That's actually how it works. Right. So I've opened the divine healing space before we started. So as soon as you dropped into the webinar, you came into the healing space. So what I'm going to do now quietly, I just want you to breathe through your mouths, not through your nose, because that keeps you into the feeling space, and just become conscious of whatever happens in your body, on your body, and outside your body in your fields, and just breathe into it. Sometimes you may have quite distinct feelings at times, because we're going to clear a whole bunch of that red interference. And we're going to start with what we call earthbound souls. These are beings who have left a physical body, but they've got attached to you because your ego is carrying similar issues to their host personality, which they just left. Okay. All right, so here we go. We'll be done quietly, but you probably feel stuff. Okay, these beings are leaving now. Just feel the shift. They may pop out your crown chakra, can come out of any chakra, come out of any part of your body. You may want to shiver, move around a little bit. You might even burp. That can happen. It's negative energy leaving. So we're going to thank the angels who helped us with this. It's the first layer of interference. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clear extraterrestrial presences, because they're nothing to worry about here. They're actually vibrating at a higher level, but they're just very interested in us because the range of emotions that humans have available on Earth is much greater than the average inhabited planet in the galaxy. NASA reckons there's 20 billion planets like Earth in the galaxy. It's a very conservative estimate. Each has their own unique experiences, but extraterrestrials are particularly interested in the way we work emotionally. So we're going to clear them out because the very act of them observing us changes the little experiment they're undergoing. Here we go. I'm going to clear these guys out now. Okay, feel the shift. Okay, these guys are left. Now we're going to release the rest of the hangers-on, discarnate beings, entities, attachments, anything else astral, of an astral nature that's attached to you, okay, or in you. Here we go. Okay, just feel that energy shift. Okay, just feel gratitude for your higher self, which has been removing all this. Okay, just keep breathing. It's very important to keep breathing through the mouth. Okay, and when you're ready, just open your eyes. So, who wants to share how that was? Just have a few little sharings, give you time to integrate before we do the next divine healing chart. Sakina?
Hi. Yeah, so my body shook quite a lot during this. It was releasing, and I was yawning quite a lot for this one.
Yeah, I think you had a few passengers on board who were leaving.
Yeah, it would seem so.
Yeah, they feed off all the programming in your body, which has been blocking you. That's what they're actually doing. They're trying to maintain it because it becomes a food source to them. So, anyone else want to share how that was? Okay, Hans, then Gail.
I had quite a lot to moan. I think this is the right word, no? Like, oh.
Yawn. A lot of yawning, yeah.
Yawn very, very much. And before I felt very tired, and in between I had the feeling, oh, I don't want to sit on this chair. I want to run around. Somehow this is what happens to me. Yeah. So quite a rise of aliveness.
Yeah. Yeah, once the interference leaves, you feel a release of energy. You feel more, your life force is freed up because they've been basically draining your life force. That's what they've been doing. You're food to them emotionally. That's why. Thank you. Gail?
Thank you.
I was feeling very constricted before, and I definitely feel much more open. Like every time you move to the next one, the openness kept expanding. So I definitely feel that expansion.
Yeah. Yeah, we lose a lot of energy to these beings. So it's we're going to get them out. So, okay. Margola, were you saying something as well?
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Vicky has said a lot of yawning and eyes streaming throughout. That's another strong release. So yawning is shaking. I don't think I want to yawn now, actually.
Yes.
Something's leaving. It's okay to yawn. Just get it out. Okay. Anyone else? In chat, William?
As soon as you started saying we're going to do clearing, I felt a lot of burps coming up.
Yep.
And then later on you said, this may happen. I was like, oh, okay. And it was weird. The second one, we were clearing the extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
It felt like the hairs on my legs were waving, which
Yeah.
I've never noticed before. But it was only on the second one. They were like kind of vibrating, and then they stopped when you went on to the third one.
Yeah, I think the ETs went home, so they were hanging out with you. Anybody else want to share? No? Okay. Well, Naomi, do you want to share? I thought you were going to touch a button there.
Oh, sure. I noticed a lot of clarity, focus, and settledness coming in. And the yawning was the sign of a shift for me too.
Yeah. Good.
I'm not so hyper.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there are beings who are creating the hyperness just to feed off it. So that's what was going on. Yeah. Okay. Rick, I see your hand. Go on.
Yawning and ear popping.
Yep. Some big guys left you, I think. Yeah. All right. Sarah said my nausea cleared as well. Margola?
I felt that the tightness left my chest. Is that part of that?
Yeah. So some beings are in your chest, probably. Yeah.
I felt more relaxed.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Any other one? Any other feedback? All right. Okay, Karen.
I felt a lot lighter when it was over. I didn't really have any yawning or anything like that, but I felt lighter.
Okay, good. You can play the video back. We'll send it out later in the week, and you can repeat it. And the same process will happen, but for the next layer or whatever, you need to let go. So the transmission you're receiving now is maintained in the recording. Okay. Okay. So we're going to go to the next part of this now. So let me just share the screen. That was a little bit of a sharing to see how you're doing, but also to give you time to actually integrate what we just did. So I'm just going to find my manual here. All right, so this is a bit of the Divine Healing Level 1 manual. There's 26 charts in it. There's 26 charts, and this is the main low frequency program chart we're going to work with now. So we're going to work on some deeper layers of programming, blocking you manifesting your gift of service. Okay. William, you've asked, are we able to clear by ourselves? We set intention. To a degree, but if you really want to do some work, you just use the video again, William. Or if you're interested in a session, we can organize those with one of our practitioners, or come and learn how to do it on yourself properly. The main thing is about Divine Healing is setting a very powerful sacred space and alignment to the higher self, which is then you can really clear yourself with the work. So learning how to do it yourself means you clear a lot of stuff very powerfully by intention. Kara said, I do a lot of energy work on myself. I usually feel all the sensations Others have described during the releases. I didn't feel it this time. Could this be because I've already released a lot from myself, or could this just be ego? Could be you just didn't have that much interference, Kira, okay, on this particular issue, but we'll see how you do with the rest of it. Marion said, are we supposed to feel something? I'm on a spiritual path since 8 years and I don't know how to follow your meditation. Do I have to read your book to understand your work? Not quite sure what you mean by follow the meditation. Do you mean do you want to talk to me, Marion? Do you mean the process we're doing now, or it's not quite clear what you mean by that? Okay. Yeah, some things you feel, some things you won't, because if you've got an issue which is resonant with the chart we're doing, then you'll feel something. If you don't, then you won't. So you can just clear that in the chat. Marion, you could just clarify what you mean by the meditation. If it's just this process here, if you just follow the instructions as best you can, you'll be fine, okay? Yeah, the shifts, the kind of saying shifts can come later as well, it's correct. Okay. So what I want you to do is focus now on, if you're not clear what you're here to do, focus on being clear, as I said before. Or if you do know what you're here to do in terms of your special gift or service, but you're not sure how to go about doing it, focus on knowing how to do it. And if you're already manifesting your gift or service, then focus on it, expanding it to whatever level you want, okay? All right, so, and what we're going to do in having that focus, that's going to trigger the ego to try and bring up some more programs. In this case, we call them low frequency programs, main low frequency programs. So I want you to close your eyes because it keeps the mental body quiet. This is not a thought process. There's nothing for you to understand here, okay? So especially for you, Marion, you don't need to understand the process. We just need you to just receive the energy, just feel the process, okay? And breathing through the mouth is very important. You'll notice the ego will often try and close the mouth because it doesn't want to feel some of these programs. It's all about feeling. It's not about a thought process here. So as you focus on getting clarity, on either getting clarity on what you're here to do, or if you know what it is, how to go about doing it, or if you are already doing it, how to take it to the next level, just breathe into that intention of being in a final state of being in all those three different things, whichever one is relevant for you. And focus on it in your heart as if it's already done. As if it's already done. Don't worry about how to get there. That's up to the universe and your higher self. They'll figure that out for you. Breathe into that new state of being. Okay. And it's already done. And feel what emotionally comes up, because the ego is going to say, oh, you can't do that in different ways, because it's designed to try and stop you so you can overcome the programming in the way, and in that process grow in consciousness. And it's the spark of you, the spark of God in you, the soul, which wants to go through the emotional process of feeling and clearing all those programs and its journey back to source. That's what life is. That's why we're alive here. So become aware of any programs that come up. It could be unworthiness, it could be lack of trust, might be despair, whatever it is. Just breathing through your mouth into the program. If you breathe through your nose, you'll just go into your head, which is not going to help us here. Feeling it is the fuel for transforming your lives. And breathe. It may seem a bit unnatural. Breathe into that big red dot of the program. And just expand your consciousness through your breath into whatever's happening. Keeping eyes closed is actually critical here as the mental body switches on and we want it switched off. And feel that program, as much of it as possible. expand your feeling consciousness into it further than you've ever done before. Become aware of the origins of this program. It might have been earlier in this life, might have been from a past life, might have been from the future, might have been from another dimension. Your higher self will let you know if you're meant to know. So we're just targeting it more in time and space and dimension. And open, let yourself open to all aspects of this feeling, this low frequency program. Perhaps the attachment to it. Any feelings of being bad for having it. And all judgment around it. And the more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. So now what I want you to do is switch your microphones on, and we're going to do this divine healing command code together. We're going to ask higher consciousness to clear this program that you've been bringing feeling consciousness to. So if you switch your microphone on as a group, you'll feel the power of us doing this together. This can be even the guys who got the videos off, it's fine as well. Okay, so I'm going to give this command code to you in bite-sized chunks. Okay. Right, so when you say this, remember you're speaking as a spark of the divine. You are the creator speaking. You're commanding the universe to do something. So you've got to do it in a commanding way. If your parents, let's say you speak to a misbehaved child, same way. You're commanding the universe to change something. Okay. All right. And you've got to mean it. It's not just words. You've got to really mean it. Okay. So repeat after me. We ask Saint Germain.
We ask
Saint Germain
to pour the purple flame
To
For
pour
the
the
purple
purple
flame
flame
through the aura and subtle bodies
through my
aura
aura
and
and
subtle
subtle body,
bodies.
to burn away all low frequency energies
burn
to
away
burn away
all
all low
frequency
frequency
energy
energies
that we have discovered,
that
that
we
we
have
have
discovered,
discovered,
so that new higher level vibrations
so that
so
new
new higher level vibration
can be accessed.
can be
can be
accessed.
accessed.
So we pause there, allow Saint Germain to get on with that job. So you're just a little busy for a while there. Okay, that's done. Then we say the next line, Saint Germain and higher self,
Saint
Germain
and
and
higher
higher self,
Self.
please burn out in one go.
please burn out
night
Out
in one
in
go.
one go.
100% the core issue
100% the
100%
core
core
issue
issue
through all levels and dimensions.
through
through
all
all levels and
levels and
dimensions.
dimensions.
A little pause to let that happen. 100% the original cause
100% the original cause
cause
through all levels and dimensions.
through all
through all
levels
levels
and
and dimensions.
dimensions.
100% the source of its power
100%
100%
the
the
source
source of its
Source
power
of its power
through all levels and dimensions.
through all levels and dimensions.
dimensions.
Little pause there. 100% all energy attached
100%
100%
energy
all
attached
energy
attached
through all levels and dimensions.
through
all
levels
levels and dimensions.
100% all of its effects
100% all
all
of
its
its
effects
effects.
through all levels and dimensions.
through all levels and
All
dimensions.
dimensions.
Let that happen. Then we say thank you and just feel the real gratitude in your heart, because that opens your connection to source. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a very powerful command code. Thank you. Let's feel the shift. I want a yawn after that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to move on to clear any past lives which are blocking you accessing that gift of service. So I want you to close your eyes and still focus on either getting clarity of what you're here to do, working out how to make it happen, or if it's already happening, how to expand what you're already doing. And breathe into that reality. And that what that's going to do is it's going to trigger the past life files in your fields, which are blocking that from happening. Then we're going to clear them, but we need to trigger them so you can feel them first. You may see beings or flashbacks, all sorts of stuff can go on when it happens. Okay. You breathe through your mouth. You might have 2 or 3 of them, could be more, could be 5 or 6, and you may see the energy or feel the energy going back in the time-space continuum behind you, because they're feeding into this life and you're processing what hasn't been resolved in those past lives. And you may feel different emotions from that as well. Okay. Now you can open your eyes. Now you can feel that. And we're going to do the past life clearing command code. This is for past life deaths normally, but we're going to change traumatic deaths to just traumatic lifetimes, which are blocking you from manifesting your gift this time. All right. Repeat after me. Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate.
Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate
all these files and memories,
all these
files
and
memories,
including all cellular memories,
including all cellular memories,
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
The DNA
and the atomic
levels.
I'm now ready to heal all traumatic lifetimes.
I am now ready to heal all traumatic
lifetimes,
blocking the manifestation
blocking the manifestation
of my spiritual gift of service.
Of my spiritual gift of service.
At all levels and dimensions.
At all levels and dimensions.
Or time frames, realities, and universes.
All time frames, realities, and universes.
Of the universe.
So a little pause to let that happen. We just do one thing at a time in divine healing. You know, we don't pile them all in. Otherwise it doesn't work properly. Okay, next one. I command that any soul fragments.
I command
that any
soul fragments
held with these memories
Held with these memories
are now returned to me.
And now return to me.
Fully whole and intact.
Fully whole and intact.
As appropriate.
As appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I welcome these soul fragments back
in. Little pause there. So bits of you break off when you have traumatic things happening over many different lifetimes, and they get scattered in different dimensions and in time and space. So what we're doing, we're pulling parts of you, those sensitive parts of you back, so you become more whole. The more whole you are, the more you can manifest your gift of service. Okay, next one. I command that the whole holographic matrix
I command
Command
the whole holographic matrix
be repaired through all layers and levels,
be
be repaired
through
through
all layers and
levels,
and then brought into full alignment,
and brought
and
into
brought
full
into
alignment,
integration and balance,
integration and balance,
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
to allow for
allow
wholeness to
wholeness
emerge.
to emerge.
Let that happen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Embrace the shift.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so a bit more to do. So now we've did a lot of stuff. We're going to do energetic nutrition. So we're going to infuse the frequency of physical nutrition, and that's going to go into your system, and it's going to help integrate all the parts of the ego that feel a bit dismantled from what we're doing, because we've got to dismantle the ego gracefully, but not to the point that they get destabilized. I want you to close your eyes and do exactly as I say. Okay? Pick a number 1 to 4. And just note down whatever number comes into your head, the first number that comes in. That's the correct one. That's your higher self telling you what it wants to do next. Okay. You can open your eyes now. So if you've got a 1, then we're going to go to list A, because we have A, B, and C, and D in terms of different types of nutrition. A is the amino acids. So if you've got amino acids, just look on the list, and whatever one jumps out at you, lysine jumps out at me, write that down, okay? If you've got B2, which is B, which is essential fatty acids, look down the list, one of them, linoleic acid. Actually, this one here, linolenic acid, that jumps out at me. Write that down. I'll go to the C and D in a sec. So, guys, you've got A and B here. Pick one. Okay. So if you've got 3, you chose a mineral. So
Minerals.
look at which one jumps out. MSM jumps out at me, for example. Your eye will just be drawn to one. If you get 4, which is vitamins, one of them will jump out. I had COQ10 jumped out at me. You don't have to know what they do, okay, or even pronounce it properly. It's just a frequency that your higher self's going to infuse into you to help integrate all the work you've done so far. Okay. All right. We're okay with that. Right. So then we're gonna do this command code at the top here to infuse this nutrient. So repeat after me in bite-sized chunks. Higher self,
Higher
Self.
please encode this nutrient
Please
Please
encode
encode this
nutrient
nutrient
in the perfect balance
in the
in the
perfect
perfect
balance
balance
that is required,
that's
that is
required,
required,
and clear and align
and clear and
align
align
all pathways
all pathways
pathways
for maximum assimilation,
For
for
maximum
assimilation,
absorption,
absorption,
and utilization.
Utilization.
and
Utilization.
utilization.
Okay, so close your eyes, and this little waveform of energy is going to come down into your crown chakra. And you just feel it propagating in all directions into your body as it goes through you. You may shake a little bit. And hopefully you feel a bit more integrated after that. Okay, you can open your eyes now gently. Keep breathing through your mouth. Hopefully you feel a little more settled. Okay, so that's a taste of divine healing. That's a few of the charts out of the 26 we use. We could have a little bit of feedback while you guys interact. Anyone want to share how that was for you? Sana, how was that?
Yeah, it was really powerful, lots of yawning and some clarity around fear of success, and a bit, what's the word? I understand what my fear is about, basically, and some past life that was associated with it. So yeah, really powerful. And then when the nutrient came in, it felt really grounding. Just felt really helped me to ground in my body.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else want to share how that was? Kira's seat here. I felt major shifts that time. Lots of yawning, burping, stretching, excitable, impulsive movements. It was very interesting. Thanks, Kira. Anyone else want to share how that was? Okay, Sakina.
Yeah, the program clearing was quite powerful. So yeah, I felt clearer after that. And with the nutrients as well, I just feel a lot lighter, a lot more myself and centered.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to share how that was? Even on the chat. Okay, Hans.
I would say I feel more clarity, and just when I said in the beginning that I'm nervous in a way and unstable, I feel more round in being in myself in a way, and just more clarity and quietness.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so basically, when we learn divine healing, we teach it over 4 days, and there are 26 charts that we use in divine healing. I'll show you them. And we learn how to do those charts over the 4 days of the training. So we do basically what we're doing now, just that we do it all day, 8 hours a day. And these are all the charts here. We did today. Where are we? We did interferences, astral interferences, main lower frequency programs. We did past life clearing in this case, and we did nutrition. Okay. There's a whole bunch of other things here. Some of them are much more complex. We can't really do them in a short webinar. But very deep charts, we're clearing like disconnection from God, hidden ego agendas, which really sabotage us a lot. Sabotage us specifically, for example, our judgments and beliefs. Key psychological complex, it's a very big chart in the system. So basically we start to dismantle your ego onion. We start to pull the whole thing apart. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Need to keep sharing. And the way we do it is that basically I explain how the chart works by demonstrating on somebody, and then you go off in pairs in breakout rooms in Zoom and you practice on each other. And for simpler charts, what we do is that I explain how it works, then I do it on the whole group in one go. So basically you get it's a 4-day healing intensive the way it works. So you get a massive healing for 4 days, plus you learn how to do it on yourself and on others. That's the essence of the training. That's how we run it. And you leave with a very powerful tool. So you can really peel this onion a lot faster and get on with life. Manifesting your gift of service. So the way it works is that in this case, a lot of people on the west coast of North America have said to me, can you run it over 2 weekends, Nicolas? Because we have to get up early. You have to get up at 4:30 because we start at 12:30 in the afternoon in UK, run to 8:30. But in Europe, I can only teach about 8:30. Beyond that, I'm not so good. So it's better than flying. People used to fly to England for this, but it runs from 4:30 to 8:30 Pacific. Okay, we do it for 4 1.5-hour slots with 20-minute breaks, 2 20-minute breaks and 1 meal break. Okay, and then in Europe, it runs from 1:30 to 9:30 at night. And most people can handle that. If you're on the East Coast, it's 7:30 in the morning, a bit more civilized, to 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. We run it on Zoom, and we'll do it over 2 weekends, so it means that it's easier for people who've got school runs and stuff to handle that. Californian mums especially asking me for this, can you please split it? So we did. Usually we run it on 4 days over a whole weekend, like Wednesday, Thursday to Sunday. But this time we've done it this way. There's been a lot of requests for that. If you're interested in finding out more, go to the divinehealingtraining.com. The total fee is £520, about $650 US. And that's equivalent to about 6 hours of private sessions. So actually, it's more cost effective to learn it because you can clear about 80% of your issues yourself. The other 20% you need an experienced practitioner. And Charlotte, who's our training coordinator, she's a very experienced divine healer. She does the private sessions here, and you can find out about those at freeupyourlife.divinehealing.com if you want a specific session. And if you're interested in coming, the deposit's £175 or $220, and you just pay the difference about a week or a couple of weeks before the training starts. So it's really there as a gift from source if you're drawn to it, so you can get home in consciousness and actually get on with life. For those of you who read the book, Your Soul Contract Decoded, or have done the training, it basically is a tool to accelerate your process of moving through what's laid out in your soul contract, because it guides you, and this is the means of moving through it. Okay. All right. So that's essentially what this is here. It's a tool to get home, basically. So any questions about that or anything else? Okay. So William, do you want to talk? I think.
Me, Margola?
No, I want to talk to William at the moment. I'll come to you in a sec. I've got a message here. William, you wanted to say something?
Oh, I was just sharing about what I lost it though. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. Well, come back to you, Margola. What you were going to say something? Do you want to switch on the camera?
When my computer decided to die, which is what happened to me, and that's why I missed part of what was most important to me. That is part of what's been getting in my way. And I'm sitting there going, okay, par for the course. Now that I'm getting through it, it decided to take its last dig. I'll have to listen again later. Did you have anything, other tips you wanted to give me? I'm going to definitely take this training.
You still got the transmission because you're in the group energy, even though the computer switched off. But I think you've got a lot of interference, Margola. Some severe interference of some sort. I think electromagnetics is part of it, but I think there's some other heavy interference as well. I suggest you consider a session with Charlotte, a one-on-one session if you've got some serious interference, because we're not doing this till February, and sounds like you want a bit of relief now. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you just, I'll get her. I'll email you her address. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. So I give you some specialist help for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
and
you
if you watch
much.
the video again, you'll get the same transmission, but you received it the first time anyway because you're a part of the group.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Anyone else got any other questions, William? Any recall of what that question was, or?
It's vague. Something along the lines of what was blocking me was kind of like I wasn't able to accomplish what I wanted to do. I think lives were lost because I didn't feel I knew enough. And the idea that came through was you don't have to finish it all in one lifetime. Like I was thinking, oh, I had to complete my mission now, like this lifetime, but it's not. Like you don't have to finish it in one lifetime. Sometimes you'll spend several lifetimes working towards something. And so it's not about doing anything like immediately, something like that.
Okay. Well, we're at a major turning point. We're shifting dimensions, shifting realities. So if there's something you really want to do, now's a good time to do it.
Yeah. No, this was the past lifetime was kind of like that feeling that was affecting me. But now I know it's different this lifetime.
Yeah, because the reality as it is changing rapidly. It's rising in frequency. So it's not about, I wouldn't wait. Don't let that drive from the soul have you wait to the next one, because there may not be the same opportunity to grow that there is now. So
no, yeah, I agree. I hope we all do it this lifetime.
Yeah, it's the time to get on with it. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions or feedback or queries from anyone? I'll be quiet. Sana. It's Karen, then Sana. Go on, Karen.
So does this clear like emotional issues that people are carrying also?
Oh yeah, it's an emotional healing tool. It's a very powerful emotional healing tool. So it clears from the raw emotion you're feeling in the moment, but it clears everything behind it that's creating all the hidden agendas, sabotages, past life programming, a whole range of stuff all the way back to source that created that experience in this moment. So with divine healing, we work with whatever's running. If you're feeling grief over something, for example, we start with the grief as an emotional gateway, and we just follow it, and the higher self will pick apart and reveal to you all the programs you need to clear that created it. So there's a natural order with divine healing. We just follow the higher self, and it's a natural unwinding and peeling of our programming. So yeah, definitely, it is designed specifically as an emotional healing tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Vicky said she's feeling much better, clearer, more centered, relief of some physical symptoms now. Okay. All right. Thanks for your thanks, Rick. Any other questions or comments? You all look a bit lighter to me, actually. Sana.
I just want to highly recommend this training. This is one of the most powerful healing tools that I've come across in my experience. Really quick, really powerful, really precise. And I'm really excited that I'm going to be doing level 2. So I can't wait for that, Nicolas. Thanks.
Okay, look forward to it. Sana, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, divine healing is very laser focused. Whatever you focus on, it will literally laser out that program, the emotional program. And often you don't even remember what you got, what you cleared, because it's gone. It's just gone. And then you get on to the next one. And then you may just forget what that was. So after a while, your reality changes. So a lot of the things that might have been nagging you in the past are just gone. And you're focusing on where you actually want to go next. You see? It's very powerful, this thing. So okay. Well, thank you, everybody. If there's no more questions. Yeah, Sarah said she's feeling better as well. Yep, good. So we'll have the video out to you in a few days, depending on how long it takes to process it. And we'll send it out to you, and you can try it again. And if you have any questions about the training, just let me know, and we'll answer those as well. If you want sessions, let me know. Okay. All right. So thank you, everybody, for your time and engagement.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh.